Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben, and this is my take on Tottenham. Full-time results: Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm sorry. Oh, God. I think I had a better time when I had COVID. I really did. Because at least Spurs were getting the results. The performances hadn't changed, and they still haven't, but at least they were getting the results during that period of time. Now I'm COVID free, and they're just sucking, and they really are. I really don't want to just sort of be that blunt. You guys know, again, if you watch me, I try and dissect things fairly. I try to, um, do these videos with an honest take, and I've always said, and I say it in every video, like you're gonna forget, if the team has played well and they are somewhat hard done by, I will give them the credit. If the team has played crap and the other team, even if it's Arsenal or West Ham or whoever, I will give them credit because they would have deserved the win. I'm not gonna. This ain't the sort of fan channel that is just 110% like biased towards the team and will blow smoke up their arse and everything. If Spurs have played crap, I will absolutely call that. And they played crap. They play really crap, and they've been playing crap for a long time actually. Let's get into it. I've got short notes and then long rants, so stay tuned for that. So a few changes to the team lineup today. Emerson Royale back in the starting lineup under popular demand. Obviously, a lot of demand for that. Christian Romero was out as well as Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, due to minor injuries. Apparently, nothing more than that. We were just told it was minor injuries. So you'd like to think they'll be back for Sporting on Wednesday. Who knows? So in came Oliver Skipp for Højbjerg, which is a sensible replacement. I think I've got no problems with that. And then Davinson Sanchez for Christian Romero. You know my opinions on Sanchez. You also know my opinions on Emerson Royale. Spurs started off okay. Sonny adds a chance. It was kind of just over. He had about 3 or 4 chances in the first sort of 20 minutes. This chance he had, he sort of 25 yards out ish, curled it, and it was just creeped over, just hit the top of the net, the roof of the net. That's going to be one of the few positives that I can say in this whole video. Sonny he went close again. I think it was it Kane or Skip fed him through. I think it was Kane. He tried to chip it over Pope, but he just Pope sort of read it well and kind of held, going down to the floor too fast. And he kind of held it. Sonny then tried to chip him, and it didn't really work. He kind of dribbled over him, and then it was just going towards the line, and then Trippier got back and cleared it. I thought Kane, again, a few positives. We're starting with the positives because there's most negatives there. I thought Kane started off really well. He was dropping deep. His turns and his passing to our wing-backs, Royale and Sessegnon, was actually creating a bit of a threat against Newcastle. They were kind of struggling in that first 20 minutes with that. I thought Skip was looking very good as well. He was really connecting play quite well. Kane then had a low shot that was saved by Pope. And then that's kind of where it all ends. Goal, the first goal, right. This is going to be quite a controversial goal. It was a controversial goal. I didn't see any problems with it. I didn't. Basically, what happened, I can't remember who, was it Byrne? Thread a long pass from the back, and Dyer read it terribly. It went straight over Dyer. Callum Wilson's running through on goal, and Lloris comes out to greet, to intercept it. Lloris gets the ball first. He kind of does this weird thrust towards the ball. The ball goes out, and then Callum Wilson's coming, and they kind of clatter in together. They kind of just like that. Lloris is looking for the foul. Wilson plays on and lobs pretty much everyone and puts it in the back of the net. I have no issues with the goal. I have no issues with the goal. It was poor. It was poor. It was a poor goal to concede. It was poor from Lloris. It was poor from those defenders. I can't remember who was on the line. Was it Longley or as Jamie Carragher kept saying the whole day, Lenglet? It was just poor, man. It was poor from the whole defence because I can't remember who was going for the line. But it's not like Callum Wilson had to react there and then. He took a couple of touches, found where he wanted to put the ball, and had a little nice chip finish. I can't believe that our defence was so slow to react to that because they were so hung up on going, it's a foul, it's a foul. Sunday League, you are taught, play to the whistle. Sunday League, you are taught that. Play to the bloody whistle. If it's a foul, VAR, even if they score, if it's a foul, VAR will look at it and rule it out. But for God's sake, stay aware and see what's going on. There was only one player, I can't remember if it was Dyer or Longley, but there was one player on the line looking to stop it, and even they didn't really do that a greater job. Lloris was so hung up on it being a foul that he just kind of stopped. And to me, it wasn't even a foul. It wasn't a foul. Again, I've said it at the start of the video. If there's a thing that I think is right, I'll argue for that point. I don't think it was a foul. So Newcastle fans rejoice in that the Spurs fan in this video is agreeing with you. It was a great goal. It was a really great finish from Callum Wilson. And my criticisms lie with my team and my defenders and my goalkeeper because it was just poor. It was so poor. Lloris as well, man. Like, oh god, Lloris is such an enigma at times because on the whole, he's brilliant. On the whole. But occasionally he has these moments where you just go, what the bloody hell are you doing? Like, what is the mindset? What is the mindset for him to come out for that and then to just, I don't even know what it did, like put your foot through it or something. He kind of came up and it was almost like he tried to chest it, but then it was too low down to chest. So I'm kind of questioning why the decision making. I'm questioning the decision making. So yeah. No problems with the goal. Great goal. 1-0 Newcastle. And then they scored again. And again, I have to call out the defence because the defence was poor. Where do you want to start? It was a poor pass from Lloris to Sessegnon. So then that meant Sessegnon was then under pressure. Sessegnon, not for the first time this season, got out-muscled really easily. I can't remember who it was by. Was it Trippier? I think it was Trippier. Sessegnon got out-muscled. Passed it to Almiron. Almiron then out-muscled Longley really easily. Or sorry, Jamie Carragher. Lenglet. Out-muscled him really easily. Almiron goes all the way around and slots it under Lloris. And 2-0 Newcastle. And it was just poor. It is so poor. It's like... It is schoolboy defending. It really is. It's absolutely just abysmal, really. It really is. And I kind of just stopped taking notes at that point. I just wrote down things to talk about in the video. So we'll go into the second half because then I could just get that one moment over with. There was no reaction. Second half, no reaction, no subs. Second half, come out, same team, same formation, same team, nothing. Newcastle carried on the pressure straight after the whistle to get things underway in the second half. Spurs had one break, which was the goal. It was a corner. I think Newcastle player headed it on. I can't remember who. It went past. It was kind of similar to Perisic's assist. I can't remember who it was. At Southampton early on in the season, headed it at the near post, and Kane was there waiting to just go like that in the net. So great goal. VAR check because they weren't sure if Sanchez had touched it with his shoulder, which knowing Sanchez, I wouldn't have been bloody surprised. And then that was it really, because Spurs didn't really. I don't think they really pressured the goal too much. That they huffed and puffed, but there was in the same way that if I huff and puff, I've got asthma. There's not really much I can do with that. That's kind of what they were doing. They were huffing and puffing, and nothing was coming. Oh god, it was absolutely useless. Yeah, so poor. I just don't know where to go with this team at the minute. Different manager, same players. Didn't Jose say something like that? I think Jose said something like that, and he got absolutely panned for it. But again, I find myself looking at it going, same players, same results. Where do we go? Sanchez and Dyer. Let's start with Sanchez and Dyer. Absolutely cataclysmically bad today. Dyer, who started the season off so strong, really strong in defence, and even getting a goal or two. He's just dropped off a cliff face in the last 2 or 3 games. Really has. Distribution. He's always been bad with distribution, but he was picking up. He was improving. I've always said in the past that he's tried to be this Toby Alderweireld distributor of the ball, where he could pick out a Dele Alli or a Harry Kane and they'd go through and score. But Dyer's not been capable of that, and he still tries it. But even the short passing today, and Davinson Sanchez falls in that category. Poor passing. Even short passes, they can't even do that. Emerson Royale as well, short passes. There was a moment, about 80 minutes on the clock, Emerson Royale looks to pass it out to Doherty, and he puts it out for a throw. It was a simple short pass, or a through ball, and he puts it out for a throw. Premier League footballers, and they can't even pass it, let alone look to overturn a 2-0 lead. I have to question the decision from Conte not to change it up at half time, because what have you got to lose? At half time, I was looking at that going, right, come on now. Bring on Bryan Hill. Bring on Jed Spence. Because what have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? We're 2-0 down at home. Why not just change it up? You've got nothing to lose. Bring Bryan Hill on, because at least he can try and inject a bit of a spark. Subs what we brought on, what was it? Lucas Moura. I mean, I love Lucas Moura. He'll always, be remembered. That was, if you can't hear that, I've just heard really loud thunder, and that kind of scared me then. I didn't know what that was. So it's the roar from the Spurs fans. Just how loud the boos are. I could hear it all the way up here. Lucas Moura I love. I really do. But I just think he's not got it in him anymore. I don't see it. Conte's adamant, but I don't see it. And I know. Look, I've said it in the previous videos. They're missing Kulusevski. I think it's so underrated how much they are missing Kulusevski, but they can't. That team is good enough still to get a result. They are good enough. Harry Kane, Son, Bissouma, Bentancur. These you're looking at those sorts of players, your key players, to go and get something from that game, and they faded away. They faded away. Sonny, whilst he had his chances early on, faded into the background, making runs, not doing much. Losing the ball, making the wrong decisions. Kane as well. Yes, he got his goal. Yes, he started off with a good strong 20 minutes, but again faded away. I think he was better than Sonny, but he didn't. He just faded away. Bissouma as well, he looked okay, but nothing special. Skip, again, looked really bright in the first half, came off, and that was that. The wing backs, the wing back, Sessegnon. I love Ryan Sessegnon as well. I really do. I'm a big fan of Sessegnon. I wanted Spurs to sign him for ages, and I was very happy when they did, and I felt like he's had a bit of unfortunate time with injuries, and I've praised him numerous times during the season, but today he had a poor game. Today he had a really poor game. Outmuscle for the goal, wayward crosses, not doing much. And then we go over to the guy on the other side, Emerson Royale. Matt Doherty, whilst not blowing the world away with his performances, I felt performed way better in his 3 games that Royale was out for his suspension. And Matt Doherty straight out. And that was it. And Royale didn't really do too much. He didn't have his worst game in a Spurs shirt, but again, like I said, there was moments. He passes the ball, it goes out for a throw, simple pass. The cross in, I never look forward to when the ball goes through to him because he can't cross. He can't cross. There's nothing that comes from it. Oh God, it's just hopeless, isn't it? It's absolutely hopeless. What else did I write down? No creative mid, because that's the problem. That is the problem. There's no creative mid. So we're stuck at the minute, and it's really predictable for teams. So we're stuck because of injuries in the 3-5-2. There's still no creative midfielder. Skip, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Bissouma. What we would have done to sign a James Maddison in the summer, I would have loved that. I really thought we needed it. Or an Ericsson, get Ericsson back. He was there for free. Spurs didn't chase it up. He went to United. But Spurs are lacking creativity at the minute. They're absolutely lacking it. Especially, you need those players. You need that sort of position to thrive in when the players like Sonny are quiet. It's just poor. It's poor. And they're not doing themselves any favours because, like I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again and I'll say it a million times. If the team plays good and they come off that field at the end of 90 minutes and they've lost, but I know that they've given it 110%, I'll give them the credit. I give them the credit because they deserved it. They haven't. They don't do that. They don't. They flake away as they've done pretty much every single season for as long as I can remember. And it's just poor because those players are good enough to get results. And those players are good enough to win a trophy. Depending on which trophy is always up for debate. I don't think they're good enough to win a Premier League. But a cup. They won't win a cup this season. They won't win a cup. Come back to this video. At the end of whenever they get knocked out. When they will. Because they're flaky. They are flaky. I'm not holding back with this anymore. I'm done protecting these players as much as I can because I always look for the positives, but I'm done with it because I see players that aren't good enough. And unfortunately, as much as I love Conte, I see a manager who is, and I'm not saying I want change or anything. I absolutely don't want Conte to go. Don't get that confused. But I see a manager that I think, come on, change it up at half time. I don't know why he's not playing a Brian Hill. I don't know why he's not playing a Jed Spence. I didn't see what we had to lose from bringing him on today. Are we afraid of bringing creativity into the team? I don't know. I don't know. It's not good. It's really not good. The only positive I can say is they're still third somehow. But it's bad. It's really bad. It's been bad most of the season. Even the Leicester game, 6-2, their performance wasn't great still. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go from there. It is what it is, I guess. But they will not win anything this season unless they improve in January. They need to bring bodies in January because that bench, we are back to where we were last season, where that bench has no depth to it. And I know that's down to injuries. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going, oh God, we didn't buy well in January. We did buy well. I thought we bought very well in January. Absolutely. I'm not saying that at all. But there's no depth on the bench to change the game at the minute. And yes, that, like I said, that's due to injuries, but also there's just no creative players to bring on. Like I said, he brought Lucas on, didn't add much. He then tried to bring Doherty on, didn't add much. And like I said, poor Brian Hill. I don't know why I'm making such a case because I'm yet to be blown away by Brian Hill, but I'm just in the opinion of what have you got to lose? I keep saying it. What have you got to lose? Bring him on, see what he can do. But we're here and we're stuck, and that's that. So yeah, let me know what you thought about the game, about the performance down below. What do you think of my opinion? Is it wrong? Is it right? Tell me. I don't know. We're in action on Wednesday night, Sporting Lisbon at home. Big game. They need to turn up. Because they win that. I think, are they qualified? I think. If they're not qualified, they're as good as, I think. But like I said, knowing this team, they'll lose, they'll draw, they'll drop points, whatever, because they don't know how to react. I don't know why they don't know how to react. I don't know why. They should have come out that second half and peppered that goal. Absolutely peppered it. I don't even think Nick Pope had a chance to save, did he, in that second half? Obviously, I know there was the goal, but after 2-1, Spurs get the goal back. Did Nick Pope get really tested that much? I don't think he did. You're chasing the game. You're supposed to be throwing bodies forward. What were Spurs doing? There was one moment that really was infuriating in that first half when they were 2-0 down. They had a chance. I think Sonny or Bentancur, they had a chance. Bentancur and Kane were trying to get shots away. They kept the ball. They passed it back to, I think it was Skip or Bissouma. Bissouma then went back to Dyer. Dyer, at that point, should have lumped it back in the box. What does he do? He turns around and he feeds it straight back to Lloris. And you heard the boos. You heard the discontent in the stadium, because that's not what people pay to see. They want to see, as we were promised from Daniel Levy's managerial search email before Nuno Espirito Santo got employed by the club, fast, attractive, positive football, or something like that, or something along those lines. Where is it? I don't see it. I've not seen it this season. I don't think once. They play good football at times, but they don't play attacking football. They play counter-attacking football, which pretty much most people have kind of sussed out at this point. And like I said, because of the injuries, they're stuck to the 3-5-2 formation. So it's kind of easy to kind of predict how they're going to play. This is where I think about changing it up in the next game and bring back the what was the, I can't even remember the original one. The three at the front, stick Bryce Hill on the right hand side and see what happens. Just see what happens. It might not work, but it's got to be better than what they did today. Surely. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm done. I want to enjoy the rest of my evening. So I'm done ranting about the team. They can just do one for the evening. Yeah, not good enough. Not good enough at all. And like I said, the only positive is that they're still third somehow. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. I will see you guys in the next video. Apologies for the long rant. But yeah, that really sucked. So yeah, I'll see you guys in that next one on Wednesday nights. Hopefully it will be somewhat better. I didn't think they could be worse than they were against Man United, but somehow they were. That's interesting. I think the performance was worse against United, but I was really frustrated by the lack of reaction in this game, especially after getting a goal back. But anyway, I'm going to stop ranting. I'm done. I'll see you guys in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend if you can. Yeah, we'll go again on Wednesday, hopefully with a reaction, even though I'm very, very pessimistic about that. Hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. And as always, for some reason, come on you Spurs.